Hey guys, we got finish this project up. What we have, remember we painted the walls here. You know, they don't look awesome. I just did one coat of mud on it, good enough. Slapped some paint on, paint we had, just to brighten up the garage. We're going to cover the walls up. But the bottom of the block, they didn't finish. And I'm sure there's a little heat loss under here. I don't feel the foam that should be under here. But they should have extended it with like a 2x10. So I just ripped some scrap left over from Dawson's shed lumber. And I hate to say it's scrap, but this is cherry. But let's see if it fits here. Yeah, I just want to come out to this edge. And then I'll do one of two things. I'll either bend a piece of aluminum to cover, which may get dented. I think I have some white, and I know I got aluminum. But we did aluminum over by the wood stove, and that's just so that there's no wood visible near the heat source. And I thought I'd just record this, and the reason isn't that it's that interesting, it's just that a lot of you didn't see me finish, and it kind of looks unfinished. And once I get this done, these are 16 ring-shaped nails, then I pre-drill a hole, because it's hardwood. Starting to bend. I mean, I didn't get that in there. But they're going in tough, and I got the nail gun, but because it's hardwood, you can't run it through the side. It's just too much material. If it was a 1x hardwood, it'd go through. So I got to pre-drill them, and I want to run one here. I've done one. I thought, yeah, I'll record it. And then I got another one. I may have to pull that nail or straighten it. And then I got to run a short one. And then up this side wall, I think I'll grab a little bit of insulation and I'll tuck it in here by this post, the metal post. I want to box this all off because we can't get to it later and there's no insulation. So I want to shove some in there. I want to poke some in there, and then I want to box this out with 1x or 2x and come out to here and over. Just make a box. And then if I decide to put a shelf or something in here, you know, it'd be good, actually be a nice height to put, like, you know, WD-40, whatever, that kind of stuff in there. Give me a little shelf pocket, you know. So let me go grab pie bar, see if I can get that nail repaired and get them put on. I'm going to go rip another piece. There's Tiger. Hi, Tig. It's kind of warm out today. It's 43 degrees, windy. We got snow. There's snow over there. She's melting. We're supposed to get some heavy wind and rain, so before that happens, I said, let's pull the table saw out and I'll rip off some pieces and frame up around this door because I want to bring those shelving back in here. I'm going to bring one or two, or I may put one on this side, a bench, one on this side. I haven't decided yet. I have to save room for either a firewood cart or wagon near the stove. And I mean near the stove. I don't want it too far away because I want the heat to melt off any snow if I get some on the pile or something. And I may end up just slapping a coat of white paint on this because it'll match, it's easier and cheaper. Right now aluminum's quite high. I used to bend aluminum and cover all kinds of wood because it's faster, cheaper than paint. And now paint is really high too, and the labor to put it on, but usually you got to do 2 coats, you know, prime paint or a couple coats of paint and primer in one or something. So I want to use the materials I have, do the quickest thing, and these will not be visible very much under the bench or behind those shelving units. So I used a tape knife here and shoved the insulation in. Got it good enough. And what I got to come up with is a number. Take a straight edge, I guess. Should use something larger and get an average number down through here. So as long as this is square, I've got like 4 3/8. 4 and just about 3/8. And then I want to rip a piece that would fit, or what I could do to save a little space maybe, this one 4 3/8. So it's probably 4 3/8 from the outside. But I need to come over to cover this portion. And then up there, there's a piece of steel I-beam sticking out. So I want to go a little bit larger than that. And so this would be the inside number. And it's going to be around 2.5. So whatever thickness I use, I've got some 1x4 and some 2x4 and miscellaneous. So I want to make a box. I might come right straight over instead of attach on the surface. That'd waste space. So screw onto here. I could do even something funky by going on a diagonal and not consider a shelf. The distance from the wall to this garage door post is 20 1/4. Let me check the depth of my shelves, because another thing I could do is down here on the bottom, because it comes out from the wall about 3 inches. It's about 3 inches. That's 3 inches wasted space. But when you put a cabinet up here and it's got a back on it, 3 inches of space by, you know, the 12.5 feet, whatever. I was considering taking the shelving units, if they fit, and mount them to the wall so they're a lot stronger than they used to be, totally flush against the wall, sitting up on that. And what that would do is it would give me, what, a little over 9 inches of space underneath it, where I could maybe lay a jack stand over, shove some flatter items, some chains, some tire chains, the tractor chains, things like that, just shove them out of the way. And then if I go and hose things down, because there's a drain in here, say I bring the truck in, it's cold outside, I want to wash the snow and salt off it, it's not going to get on my bottom shelf, you know. And the slope comes slightly away, so it would drain well. So I'm considering that. I got to figure out what my height is, and I've already placed my lights up there. I don't know if I showed you, but I put 2 lights on this wall, and I brought them out, and they shouldn't say wall, the ceiling. I brought them out about 20 inches, considering the shelf is there. Plus, once the garage door is in the open position, like summertime, I didn't want the light up higher and have a dark spot. I didn't want it back here to where it's shining on the top shelf. I can't put anything on the shelf. So I thought that'd be a good height. I got to see what we got left here. I think we got almost 7 feet, right? What do we got? We got 7 feet. So I'm going to check the height of those cabinets. I still got to put my outlet covers on over there. And but I think we can box this in. I could slide the cabinet all the way down and not worry about this section. But if I do a 45 board, it'd only be 1 board. I could screw it on, screw it on. This is plywood behind here, and that'd be simpler. But remember, I mentioned maybe running straight across with some kind of shelf, but if I can get to it. I don't know. I want to utilize every inch I can in this garage, so I get a lot of stuff back in here, but not have it messy like before. Well, you can hear everything melting off the roof over there. Well, I measured our cabinets, and they're 17 inches deep, 37 inches wide, and 76 inches tall. So I think what I want to do is set them up on that ledge. I marked the first one will stop right there. If I do 2 of them, it'll stop right here. And that'll give me almost an 8-foot bench if I want it. I think 92. Before we come into that shield of the wood stove, I probably didn't need to come over that far, but I did. And I just assumed if I had the door open, I got a roaring fire. I just don't want the wall warm. And let's see here. And also, if I stacked the wood against, I didn't want it banging up the paint, you know. But anyways, I think that'll work if I install 2 of them. Plus, the edge of the lift starts right back here. So it might give me room enough to work around everything. We got a couple obstacles. So I marked 17 inches comes way over here. So I'm not going to be able to come over and box it like I wanted to. The top of the, I should say the bottom of the I-beam, the top of the post is right there. And up top there's a little jut comes out from, I'm not sure what it is, a door header, I think. Oh, the top of the I-beam sticks out. They didn't cut it off. right up there. So I got a notch around that. So I'm considering doing a 45-degree board from here to here. It's not quite a 45 because it won't be square. So I'm going to play around with that. Probably got a notch out for that wire. I don't want to move that. I don't want to monkey with it. And then maybe notch out for the I-beam on both pockets there. See if I can make something work here on a used piece of lumber even. All right, I took a 1x4. This happened to be pressure treated. I had it on trim for something. And I beveled the back, 45. I notched out for the I-beam. I don't know if you can see it there in the wire. And I kind of wish I had a 1x6, but I only had a 1x4. It was actually a 4 inches. And I used the whole thing, but I'm gonna have to push the insulation back because I was gonna come out to here and over and back. I can't because I need the room. And so, and also I beveled the top because that's also a 412 pitch. And that, see, that sticks out there. So I got to come up across on a 45 and I chewed out the back of this. So it should fit over that. And then I'll pre-drill this and probably use deck screws, pull that in. Well, that worked out pretty good. The distance I have is just over 17 inches, so the cabinet should fit in there. And it's not perfect, but it definitely, you know, holds that insulation in. I can caulk the seam, and then our cabinet will fit. It cleans up that edge. We got insulation behind it. So I'm going to slap some paint on it. I'm not going to be real pretty. I'll throw a coat on it and be done with this. Alright, there we have it. Trimmed out the bottom. I didn't come out farther than the block. And I think I'll probably come over here where I came out, you know, past this metal heat shield. I might just cut that off flush and just copy this one and paint that. But that can be a little later because that'll be about where the bench is going to go, I think. And that corner board, that kind of disappears over there. It'd be better if we probably put some caulk on. Maybe I'll do that a little later when I wait for it to dry. I'm going to go out and get the benches sorted, get them, or the shelving sorted, get them in here. Maybe I'll get Dawson to come out and give me a hand. We'll set them up on the wall, screw them on. Then I can start bringing some of my supplies back in. And like I said, if they're elevated 9 inches, I should be able to throw a couple jack stands under there, maybe the trailer hitch of the truck, tractor, trail, you know, lift arms, miscellaneous things when I, you know, have them near the door, I can shove under there. The other thing I thought of is if I move the cabinet down this way a foot, I could use that corner to put my snow shovel, push broom, that kind of stuff. But because of the garage door sensor, I know darn well somebody's going to either cut that wire or bump the sensor and mess the door up. So I think we'll stay with that, and then there's no reason to get over there. And that should work out good. I'll get the benches out. They're out in the carport. Maybe I'll clean them off and bring them back in. They're probably going to look terrible against a white wall now, but they're going to be very useful. All right. We struggled slightly, but not too bad. We got 2 cabinets. The first one's got the dividers still in it. There's some type of filing cabinet. And they were here when I bought the place, but this will keep yours separate if you want to put, I don't know, WD-40s and PB blasters in one and something else. It kind of keeps everything from falling together. I wish they were a couple inches higher, because some of the items, like some of the aerosols, things like that, they don't stand up. But what I do like about it, if I did want to close them up, you know, they close. They don't lock. They probably had locks at one point. But if I pull a vehicle in here, I'm doing something, it's a decent looking vehicle, I don't want something falling off the shelf, I could close these up. But I want to be able to put like motor oil, windshield washer, all that kind of crap right where I can grab it quick. I don't want to go searching for it. I would like a nut and bolt assembly. I'd love to get one that Diesel Creek recently got and showed, where it's got all the assortments, because I looked through buckets of bolts that I could never find. And what I think I want to do with this, I don't know if there's even a jack stand handy, is there, Dawson? You see one? I did use one the other day. Somewhere there's one. But I think what will happen is that's about 9 inches underneath there. I think if I tip the jack stands over, they'll slide under there. If I do decide to epoxy this floor, I'd like to put some surface level on here, because there's a couple divots where the salt got after it. And so I'm going to have to acid clean this, hose it out good, let it dry, go ahead and, you know, prime it, put the self-leveling in, then do the epoxy. And I think I can do this for, you know, $200 eventually, and I think it'll give it a better surface. It's hard to clean over here where the salt bumps are, you know that, right? And some of these are really nice and smooth still, but I'm pretty sure it's road salt that did that. The depth of this, I think, was 17 inches. I do want a bench here. 17-inch bench is kind of narrow. So what I was considering, I don't know if I even have an example here. Here's my example. We got a foam. Here's a nice thing. If I put a bench in, and I have it at 36, maybe even 32, I don't like them too tall, put it on a hinge and have it drop down, I think that'd be awesome. And then if I'm working on a car and I got my seat here, working on brakes or something underneath, I could actually roll my roller stand back under it, and right here's our outlet. I think if I went another 37 inches, I don't think it'll make it, right? I think we measured it. It's only 30 or something here, right? It's 28 and a half. So if I ran another cabinet, I'd have to cut a hole and we'd have to reach through for the electric. I don't think I want it anyway, because I want to put my firewood here. I want a bench. I could also, I think we measured those toolboxes. I've got 95 inches, almost 8 feet for that metal. Do you remember the measurement of them two toolboxes, Dawson? I think they were around, weren't they like less than 7 foot? With a handle sticking out. So we could put 1 or 2 over here. They're on rolling wheels. That'll get me over on the other side. I could roll it over here, do a project. I could drop the bench down. I think if I come up about, you know, 32 to 36 inches and have a hinge on it, and it's only coming out 24 inches, it will clear these blocks and be inside here, not be a space maker, to be a space saver. And then the rolling cabinets can come all the way back. So I think that'll work out great. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to confirm where the studs are. There's 1/2-inch plywood, but studs are 16 on center. I want to drill some more holes and get these totally secured. This bottom one would probably make sense. I reach under and just screw it the bottom down instead of to the wall. And then the very top, I want to get it. And then I'd like to screw the 2 cabinets themselves together. And so I want it very rugged so I can put my buckets and nuts and bolts, whatever, up there. Something heavy. So, nice little project done today, guys. You see the light up there. So that shines out in front, so I don't get this blind spot with the door up. I think I planned that pretty good. The outlet was in the middle, and then the cords both go both ways, so that's as much light as I need and could get to. I think it's great. It was so dark in here before. So just a little video on continuing the finish of the base down there because the block was hollow, kind of weird. These cabinets sat in front, so we had a 3-inch gap, and it came out in the room 3 more inches. So they came out to the edge of this door before. You can see the line on the floor. So we picked up 3 inches. We got it up in the air, so if I hose this out, it's not getting the cabinet soaking wet. You see this? Probably road salt did that. And then I can maintain the floor under it, and I put crap under there. And there's still some room above it. In the front edge, we still got over a foot, right? We got 13 inches. 13 inches, so I can stack, you know, smalls up there. I just need storage because you know all the crap I got in there. And I'm going to sort it. I want to get my battery chargers on one, all that kind of stuff. I want my car electrical fuses, breakers, all that kind of stuff. Electrical equipment. I want my nuts and bolts. I want, I might even put some of them toolboxes where I got wrench sets and socket sets. I think everything like that would be good. So I'm excited. Follow along. If I don't like the looks of this, somebody wrote on it with pen or chalk. I can paint them, you know, but good enough for now. Thanks for watching. See you soon, guys.